The learning to Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bazakim Shevuos Perek Ches Mishna Vav. So Mishna Vav is continuing with a shayil. Heichen Shari, the owner goes over to the person that borrowed his shar. Amar Loi. Now the shayil says Ini Yedei Amat Tasach. He denies borrowing it altogether. And really, Hu Shemeis Nishbar Nishba Nignav Ava, which he would have been chayiv. Mashbiacha Aniva Amar Amin. He makes a shvua denying the whole loan. Chayiv. He's chayiv because there's kfiras moments, and now he's chayiv a carbon shvua. Now the Mishnah discusses Naisi Sachar and Seicher, because we already learned about Shemer Chinam and Mishnah Beis, and we learned about Shayil and Mishnah Hey and Vav. Amar Naisi Sachar v'Seicher Heichen Shari. The owner goes over to him and says, "Where's my shar?" And the Shemer Sachar says, "Amar Loi Meis." It was an oinus. V'hu nishbar nishba. It really was an oinus, but it was a different oinus. Or he says nishbar, and it really was neisai nishba. Or it was nishba, v'hu shemeisai nishba. But either way, he would have been potter, because the Shemer Sachar is potter on oinus, and he was just saying a different oinus. Or nignav v'hu she'avad, avad she'nignav. He's tiny and was geneva, and really was aveda. Or he's tiny aveda and really was a geneva. So either way, he would have been chayiv. So there's no kfiras mammon in both these cases. Mashbiach aniva amar amin potter, so he's potter from a carbon shvua. But if meisai nishbar, let's say he tiny as it was aynis, v'hu she'nignav aved, and really it was a geneva aveda. So really he should have been chayiv, and he's tiny aynis. Hashem b'sachas potter and aynisim. Mashbiach aniva amar amin chayiv, because now there's a chiyav carbon shvua, because he was pottering himself by saying it was a oinus and really it was a gneva aveda. However, avad oy nignav, let's say he tiny gneva avedas, he's being mechayiv himself more because hu shemeis and nishbar really oinus happened. Mashbiach haniva amar amen potter, because now he's trying to make himself lighter, as the Mishnah says, kol mishana michayva l'chayva miptur l'chayva potter. If you're being mechayiv yourself more, so then there's no chiyav carbon shvua. Only mechayvel lebtor chayiv. Only if you're patting yourself more, then there's a chiyav carbon shvua. Zakal kol anishba lahakalatz mechayiv. If a person is being makel himself, he's saying less than what happened, that's when he's chayiv a carbon shvua. Lahachmer alatzmei. But if he's saying more, like the last case that we had by Shemer Sachar, where it was a oinus happened, he would have been potter, and the person is saying there was a gneva aved being mechayiv himself, so then he's going to be potter from a carbon shvua. And the last two klolim is the shtickle duplicate. The Teisus Yantav says that perhaps we're not geris both of them. Ayin sham. Eduyos Perek Aleph Mishnah Aleph. So as a hagdama, the Gemara in Bracha says on Dav Chav Ches, Tana Eduyos boy bayoyim nishas, and on the day they removed from Gamliel from the Nesias and they appointed Rabbi and Azai, and Rabbi and Azai said Ari Ani Kiven Shimon Shon, and they were Marbis Hafsalim in the base medrash. That was the day that Maseches Eduyos was learned. And Tosefta, the beginning of Eduyos, also says that it was learned in Karen B'Yavne, and it says that they were set over the pasuk in Amos that says there's going to come a time that there's going to be, the Torah is going to be in the Shtakach, and they learned Maseches Eduyos, learning the machlokes and the three machlokes, starting with the three machlokes in Shammai v'Hillel. Those are the first three Mishnayos. The Gemara in Shabbos says that the three times that Shammai and Hillel nechleku, and all these three times the Chacham says Lo K'divrei Zeh v'Lo K'divrei Zeh, and it says a third opinion. So the first Mishnah is also the first Mishnah in Maseches Nida. Shammai Yomer Kol Anoshim Dayin Shaitin. Shammai holds that if the Isha sees dam, so then we don't have to be chayshish that it happened any prior to it coming out. And the Gemara says four reasons: either because Isha has a cheskes taira, or because Isha is margeshes ba'atzma, so if it would have been there earlier, she would have felt it, or Isa dahave dam karave ase, if there was dam, it would have become earlier. Or Rava says because the reason of Mishama is because of bittul perivirivya, that a person is going to be libay noikvay, and he's going to be afraid, even though legabe tyrus, legabe perivirivya, it's not negay, it's only legabe tyrus that would be chayshish l'mafreya. Still, a person is going to be libay noikvay and is going to be perish me'ishtay. Beis Hillel argued and said no, mipkida l'pkida afilu yam rabin, that we have to be chayshish l'chumra, that all tyrus are tameh up until the last time we did a bedika, and we know for sure that there was no dam. Aydach shasha bittul perivirivya, we're not chayshish for that, because it's dafka l'tyrus udim tameh, it's only chash legabe tyrus and not legabe baila. We're not as mekel as Shammai, we're not as machmer as Hillel. We're only chayshish as far back as the last time you did a bedika according to Hillel, but even that is only if it's more than, only if it's less than 24 hours. More than 24 hours, you never have to be chayshish. And the reason why we went back 24 hours is because the Gemara says Chachamim would tiknu l'meis Yisrael that she do bedika twice a day, in the morning and at night, to know that there was the tires from before them were tar. And this Isha, since she didn't do bedika, so if see the Oina, as the Gemara explains, Oina means Oina Yisera. Each Oina is 12 hours, so 24 hours back were Choshesh for Tumah. The Mishnah says, Vaiter, Kol Isha Sheyesh Leves Da Yeshaita, which could mean Dafka B'Shas Vest, meaning an Isha who saw Dam 3 times the same time, and we know for sure that the dam came, so there's a chashash oirich bezmanei ba, we assume that the dam came at that time, so then you have to only have to be choshesh that at that time that it came and not prior to that. Hamasham shemes be'edim harezu kibekida. Isha is masham shemes be'edim. Edim means sadin over here with a cloth. She does a bedika, which the Gemara explains there's a bedika before tashmish, bedika la'achet tashmish. So harezu kibekida mametas hayad meis leis hayidem kida bekida. So prior to that bedika, you don't have to be chayshish. The Gemara clarifies. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel eilif nei tashmish einu mametas hayidem kida. Really, the bedika that she does before tashmish doesn't help because mitich shemhulnu bebeisa einu machnesas churun v'stakim. So she's not going to do a bedika that goes into churun v'stakim, and dafka such a bedika is a valid bedika. But if she doesn't do that, then it doesn't help, and therefore we're going to be chayshish even prior to such a bedika. What the Mishnah is talking about is dafka the bedika la'achar tashmish. Such a bedika is a good bedika, and any tires that she touched prior to that is going to be tar, but up until that time is going to be tameh.